In this video, I will be using group policy to deploy PaintNet. I will use two different deployment options. One is where we create a group policy for our domain computers and then the computers install the software during startup. Another one is where we create a policy for our domain users and then the users themselves can install the software whenever they like. I'm starting this video from my GitHub page, and here you can find more of my videos that are related to this topic. For example, here you can find my Windows Server setup if you're interested in that, and also here you can find videos about extra group policies and settings that I'm using when I'm deploying software using group policy, and I will leave the URL in the description down below. And now I will begin this video by downloading PaintNet software installation package, and for that I will use the link that I have here. That brings me to the PaintNet download page. Then I will click on download now. Then I will click on offline installers. And it brings us to the GitHub page for PaintNet, where we can download a few different packages. And the one that I will be downloading is this one right here. And this is WinMSI64. So I will click on it. And then I will go to my downloads folder. As you can see, it's a zip file. I will right click on it and I will use 7-zip to extract the contents. Then I will go inside, and as you can see, we have our MSI file here. And now I will right click on the file, select copy, and then I will go to VMware Workstation where I have my Windows Server environment. I will minimize the server manager for now, and I will move the MSI file to my desktop. Then we need to move this MSI file to a network share that is accessible by our users and the computers. So for that, I will open File Explorer, and here I will enter my file server name. It's SRV02. Here I have the software share. I will go inside of it and I will create a folder and I will name it PaintNet. And I will move the MSI file into this folder. And here you need to make sure that you have the correct NTFS and share permissions. For example, in my case, if I go to Properties Security tab and click Edit, you can see that for NTFS permissions, I have authenticated users with read permissions, and I have the same for the share permissions. And authenticated users covers both users and computers. This means that both users and computers are able to access this share and execute files from it. So make sure that you have the correct permissions, and now I will close everything and then I will go to my server manager because we can start creating our group policy. And here in the server manager I will go to Tools and Group Policy Management. Then I will right click on Group Policy Objects, select New. And now I will be creating the first policy, and the first policy will be for our domain computers. It's where the software is installed during the startup process. So I will name this policy assign PaintNet and click OK. Then I will expand group policy objects. I will right click on our newly created group policy and select edit. And because this policy is for our computers, we need to go to computer configuration, policy, software settings, and software installation. Then I will click in the middle of this window, right click go to new and select package. Here you need to make sure that you're selecting an MSI file that is located in a network share. For example, in this case, it is located on the server's desktop, and this means that this is a local file. And group policy will allow you to select this file, but when the computers will try to install the software, the installation will fail because they will not have access to this server's desktop. So always make sure that you're selecting a file that is located in a network share. Now to go to a network share, I will click here. And once again, I will enter my file server name, SRV02. Then I will go to the software share and PaintNet folder. And then I will select the MSI package in this folder. Here I will select Advanced and click OK. Then I will go to Deployment, Advanced, and here I will select Ignore Language when deploying this package because I want to deploy this package no matter what language is on the client machine. Then I will click OK and OK. And we're done creating our policy, so I will close this window. Then I will select the policy here and go to details, and here for GPO status I will select user configuration settings disabled because currently this policy only has computer settings in it, and I will leave all other settings on default. Now after creating our policy we need to link it to an organization unit which is holding the domain computers on which we want to install the software. In my case, the organization unit will be this one, domain computers 1. So to assign the policy, I will click on the policy and hold, and then drag it and drop it on the organization unit. Then I will select OK, and as you can see, the policy appeared here and also in the list here. And that's it for creating and assigning our policy to an organization unit. Now let's see if the policy is working. And for that, I will go to one of the client machines that is located in this organization unit. And this is a client here, client 01. And here we need to update our group policy. So for that, I will go to my start menu. I will type CMD and I will open it without administrative privileges. Here I will type GP update and press enter. And as you can see, the group policy update was successful. And here it is informing us that it detected a software installation package. And for that software to install, the computer needs to be rebooted. So to restart our computer, I will type shutdown -R-T0 and press enter. And now let's see what happens. And as you can see here, the computer is informing us that it is currently installing the PaintNet software package for us, and it seems that it is done. So let's sign back into the computer. And here we have our PaintNet desktop icon right here. So I will double click on it. And it seems to be working just fine. And that's it for deploying the software to our computers. Now let's create another group policy, but this time let's create it for our domain users so that they can install the software whenever they like. So for that, I will go back to my server. I will right click on the group policy object, select new, and this time I will name the group policy publish paintnet and click OK. I will right click on the policy and select edit. And because this time this policy is for our users, we need to go to user configuration, policies, software settings, and software installation. Then I will right click in the middle here, select new and select package. Once again, make sure that you're selecting a file that is located in a network share, and to make sure I will click here and I can see that this file is located in my file server. So I will select this file, select advanced and click OK. Then I will go to deployment tab, and here for the installation user interface options, I will select basic because I don't want to allow users to select anything during the installation process. And then I will click OK. And we are done creating our policy, so I will close this window. Then I will select the policy here, go to details, and for GPO status, I will select computer configuration settings disabled because currently this policy only has user settings in it. And once again, I will leave all other settings on default. And this time we need to assign this policy to an organization unit that holds our domain users. And for me, it will be this organization unit right here, domain users. As you can see, currently it doesn't have any policy assigned to it. So to assign the policy, I will select the policy and hold, and then drag and drop it on the organization unit. And the policy appeared here and also here. And now to test this group policy, I will go to my other client machine, client 02 that I have here. And here I have this desktop icon to install the software from the network. And as you can see, the list is currently empty. And to fill this list, we need to update our group policy. So for that, I will go to my start menu. I will type CMD and I will run it without administrative privileges. Then I will type GP update and press enter. And as you can see, group policy update was successful. So now to refresh the list, I will right click here and select refresh. And as you can see, we have our PaintNet software installation package. So I will double click on it. and it should start the installation. I will click OK, and as you can see, we have PaintNet desktop icon right here. So I'll double click on it. And once again, it seems to be working just fine. And that's it for this video. In the future videos, I will show you how to deploy PaintNet using other software deployment tools. So like and subscribe if you want to see that, and see you in the next one.